Welcome back, dear students. In this session, you will learn some more points about file sharing, about the concepts of files, rather. So we'll look file sharing. Now, sharing we know is essential. Sharing of files on multi-user system is desirable. Sharing may be done through a protection scheme. Without having a protection scheme, if we are sharing files, then it may corrupt the file. That's why protection scheme plays a vital role here. On distributed system, files may be shared across a network. Over network, we require network file system, which is a common distributed file sharing method. Now, file sharing where you are having multiple users. If you are sharing a file over multiple users, user IDs are essential here for identifying users and allowing permissions and protections to be per user. So user IDs are essential here because there are multiple users and we do not want all of the users to have same sort of permissions. We need to provide protection to the files that are being shared within the users. Okay, so we'll be using user IDs for identifying users. Now if there are group of users, we can even have group IDs to allow users to be in a particular group. So they'll be getting group IDs and then permitting group access rights. Now for file sharing over the remote file systems, uses networking to allow file system access between systems. The remote file system, it allows uses of the file sharing over the network. Now this sharing allows the file system access between the systems. Now it can be manual or via programs like FTP, File Transfer Protocol. It can be automatically, seamlessly using distributed file system, or it can have in semi-automatic via the World Wide Web. In case the system is client server, then it allows clients to mount remote file system from the server, and then the server can serve multiple client and user on client identification is insecure or complicated. Here NFS is a standard unique client server file sharing protocol. CIFS is a standard Windows protocol. Standard operating system file calls are translated into remote calls. For remote file system, either we can go for client server model, or we can share the files using programs like FTP, or using distributed file system or World Wide Web. Now distributed information system needs here distributed naming services such as LDAP, domain name services, NIS, Active Directory implement, unified access to information needed for remote computing. In case you are facing failure of file sharing, then remote file system adds new failure modes due to network failure or server failure. Recovery from the failure can involve state of information about status of each remote request. Stateless protocols such as NFS include all information in each request, allowing easy recovery but less security. Consistency semantics specify how multiple users are to access a shared file simultaneously. Now, similar to process synchronization algorithms that we have seen earlier, it tends to be less complex due to disk input-output operation and network latency. An Andrew file system is implemented using complex remote file sharing semantics. Unix file system implements write to an open file visible immediately to other users of the same open file. Sharing file pointer to allow multiple users to read and write concurrently. So in Unix file system UFS, this will indicate if some changes has been done to the open file, and this open file is being shared among various users, so it will be visible to all other users immediately. And then file pointer will allow multiple users to read and write at the same time. Now, Andrew file system has session semantics, where writes to an open file by a user are not visible immediately. As that in case of Unix file system, it was visible to all other users. So in Andrew file system has got some other semantics, where the write that is performed on the open file by user are not visible to other users immediately. Writes only visible to sessions starting after the file is closed. Let us see protection. File owner or creator should be able to control what can be done by whom. See, the file owner or the creator who has created the file should be able to control that what operations can be performed on the file and by what sort of users. Types of accesses that are given to the file can be read, write, execute, append, delete, or simply list. Access list and groups. Now, the owner of the file or the creator of the file may make use of access lists and groups in order to protect the file. Now, mode of access can be read, write, or execute. Three classes of users. The mode of access is read, write, and execute. Now, there are three classes of users. First class is owner. Now, owner has got all the accesses. It can read, write, as well as execute. Then next, group access is having its unique ID, right? Owner is having a unique ID as 7, group access is having unique ID as 6, whereas it is allowed to read and write, but execute is not allowed for this class of user. Then public access, group ID is 1. Now the users in this group, this class of group, can only execute the file. Now here we can ask the manager to create a group with a unique name, say G, and add some users to the group. For a particular file, for example game or subdirectory, we can define an appropriate accesses, just like shown here. Okay. Now attach a group of file to this particular directory. So this is a directory named as G, and particular type of files associated with it are only gaming files. Okay. Now this figure shows you Windows XP access control list management. Here you can see a particular, see here in security you can see guest, right? And then guest, what sort of permissions are given to guest. See, the check boxes that are checked indicates that whether they are allowed or denied. So full control for guest is denied, modify is denied, read and execute is denied, read is also denied, write is also denied for the guest. Now here is different group or different sort of users are listed here. Okay, now here is a sample Unix directory listing, and here we have finished with this topic. See you in the next lecture. Till then, take care.